So we're living in this world where a great idea can pop up literally anywhere, but what happens when that idea needs to cross a border? How do you protect it? How do you stop someone halfway across the planet from just taking it? Well, today we're going to break down the global rulebook for inventions. Okay, just imagine this for a second. You've poured everything into creating something truly revolutionary, but the second you launch it, a factory on the other side of the world starts pumping out knockoffs. They're making a fortune off your idea, and you're getting nothing. For a long, long time, this was a massive, basically unsolvable problem for innovators. See, historically, your patent might have been ironclad in your home country, but the moment you crossed a border, poof, it was basically worthless. It was a total free-for-all. This created absolute chaos, not just for inventors, but for international trade, for the spread of technology. It made doing business globally a real minefield. So, to fix all this chaos, the world really needed a single set of rules that everyone could agree on. And that's where the TRIPS agreement steps onto the stage. Okay, the full name is the Agreement on Trade-Related Aspects of Intellectual Property Rights. It's a mouthful, so everyone just calls it TRIPS. It was a huge deal. As part of the World Trade Organization, it set for the very first time a global baseline, a minimum standard for how every single member country had to protect ideas. And the scope of TRIPS is just massive. It covers the whole shebang. Copyrights for movies, trademarks for your favorite brands, even top-secret business info. But today, we're going to zoom in on what is arguably the most powerful and definitely the most controversial area of all: patents. So what even is a patent, really? It's not just some piece of paper. You should think of it as a fundamental bargain, a deal between an inventor and all of us, society. The magic words here are exclusive right. A patent gives an inventor a legal force field around their idea. It gives them the power to be the only one who can make money from their invention. But, and this is a big but, it's only for a limited time. And here's the deal, the big trade-off. To get that temporary monopoly, the inventor can't keep their invention a secret. Nope. They have to publicly file a super detailed document explaining exactly how it works. That way, society gets all that new knowledge, and other smart people can learn from it and build on it. The inventor gets a window to profit, and humanity gets to move forward. So how long is that window? Well, under the TRIPS agreement, the minimum time for patent protection got standardized. It's 20 years. 20 years from the day you file the application. For 2 whole decades, that invention is yours and yours alone to control. But creating one single, powerful 20-year patent rule for the entire world, from the richest countries to the poorest, well, that had some massive and often pretty unintended consequences. You really have to see this as a two-sided coin. On one side, you've got the promise, right? The idea was that strong, predictable patent rules would make big companies feel safe investing in other countries and sharing their tech. But flip that coin over and you see the peril. For regular people, it could mean much higher prices for everything from software to life-saving drugs. And for developing countries, it slammed the door on a key way to grow, learning by taking things apart and figuring out how to make them better. You know, a UN report really hit the nail on the head here. The whole system is about balance. If you tip it too far in favor of the patent holder, you actually risk choking off the very competition and follow-on innovation that you were trying to encourage in the first place. It's a super delicate tightrope walk. And for a lot of nations, just getting into compliance with TRIPS was this monumental task. We're talking about building whole new legal systems, setting up modern patent offices, training judges, lawyers. This wasn't just some small policy tweak. It was a complete top-to-bottom overhaul, and man, did it come with a hefty price tag. Just to put a number on it, a case study in Chile figured out that the one-time cost was over $700,000 just for the initial setup. But on top of that, it was going to cost them over $800,000 in extra costs every single year just to keep the new system running. For a developing economy, that's an enormous amount of money. And let's look at a huge real-world example, India. Before TRIPS, Indian law specifically did not allow patents on medicines. This was a deliberate choice to help local companies make affordable, generic drugs, which was absolutely vital for their public health. TRIPS forced India to completely flip this policy on its head, a move with massive, massive consequences. So, you might think the TRIPS agreement settled the debate over patents. But really, it just set the stage for a new, global one that is still raging to this day. And these are the big, thorny questions that policymakers are still wrestling with. How do you make sure life-saving medicines are affordable for everyone, while still rewarding the companies that invented them? How can a country grow its own tech industry if it can't learn from the world's best? And how in the world do you apply rules written for the 20th century to crazy new technologies like biotech and AI? There are just no easy answers.
So at the end of the day, this leaves us with the big question. Was the global patent system a brilliant way to fuel human ingenuity, or did it accidentally create a barrier to progress for much of the world? The balance is delicate, the stakes couldn't be higher, and the debate over whether we've gotten it right, well, that is far from over.